This is the Mini 2, the latest offering from drone manufacturer DJI. Now, I have had this drone for 3 weeks now, so basically since launch, and I've done countless flights, countless tests, so I make myself best placed to give you an honest review on some of the features, benefits, and more importantly, some of the little pitfalls, and basically buying advice as to whether you should actually buy this. So basically, if you are looking and for a new drone and money is absolutely no object, then end of conversation, go buy the MAVIC Air 2. It's a brilliant drone, packed full of features, and yeah, it's the best drone you can buy for the price. However, if you are looking for a portable, lightweight, very incredibly capable drone that doesn't break the bank, then stay tuned, because we're going to talk about all its best features, and we're going to talk about some of the features above and beyond the Mini 1. So let's get started. Does size matter? Am I allowed to say that on YouTube? Who knows? But anyway, if it does, then you are really going to appreciate just how lightweight this drone is. I think sometimes us YouTubers forget that you might not have already seen the Mini 1, and you might be absolutely brand new to drones. I can't even begin to tell you just how light this is and portable. Now, I do appreciate, obviously, if you're buying the standalone model, then obviously you might want to put it in your pocket or in a hoodie or something like that. But obviously if you come in the Fly More combo, you're going to get that case. But either way, on its own, it just weighs absolutely nothing. It's so light and portable. It's ideal if you're traveling or you want to take it on holiday in your hand luggage or anything like that. It's absolutely brilliant for that. Now, as you can see, it is actually the exact same size as the one it's replacing, the Mini 1. The only thing that I have noted as well in other videos that other people have posted is, not actually tested this out myself, but I do consider it to be true, the Mini 2 actually comes in under that 249 grams. In fact, it's around 238 grams. Now, what that basically means is not only is it able to be registered, flown in most countries without being registered. Obviously, you do need to check that in your local country to make sure you're abiding by all laws. It means there's a little bit of scope there. So obviously, if you do sort of customize your drone or want to put any sort of wrap on it or just paint it or do something, then you're probably going to be able to do that and still stay within the 249 gram limit. Whereas, of course, with the original Mini 1, if you did anything to it or put any accessories on it or did anything to sort of change its physical appearance, you're going to be over that limit, so it should have been registered. So that's a big plus to the Mini 2. On the new Mini 2, one of the major reasons for buying it is Ocusync 2.0. Now, what is Ocusync 2.0? Ocusync is basically DJI's state-of-the-art connection system between the controller and the drone. So with the Mini 2, you do get a different controller, which of course is this one here. So first thing to notice is obviously it is quite a bit bigger than the one you get with the Mini 1. But I wouldn't still say it's a hugely difference in weight, or obviously it's physically bigger, but like I say, guys, I mean, at the end of the day, if you are buying the Fly More combo, they're going to fit in the case and you're barely going to see much difference in weight. So what should Ocusync 2.0 give you? Basically, Ocusync 2.0 is designed to give you pretty much a bulletproof connection over the enhanced Wi-Fi that was on the Mini 1. Now, I have done a few videos on this and tested it. Now, especially as a new drone pilot, out the box, Ocusync 2.0 is going to give you a much better connection, especially if you're an amateur, because when I was an amateur and I bought my first DJI drone, which was the Mini 1 that I'm talking about and that I've had previously, basically that drone at the beginning suffered from a whole host of connection problems. So really, I built this channel on trying to find out ways of having to extend that and use different accessories to get you a better signal and use different settings. Ocusync 2.0, especially for a complete novice, if you're a first-time buyer, then that's going to give you a much more reliable, stronger signal directly out the box, which is a huge positive. Obviously, like I said, it is bigger, but obviously it's got more to house, and you do get a better battery performance as well. What I do like about this controller is the new mounting system. Okay, so your phone actually sits there rather than sitting in the bottom, which I find is quite easy to see. And also what you've got as well, if you can see, you've got a designated cable system. So I find that it's much easier. Okay, so you can just plug that in the side of your phone, and it just means that it's not sort of all wrapped around and pulled out of bits and pieces. And I just find it so much more comfortable and of course sturdy as well. I just prefer this controller. I genuinely do. As much as I'm completely happy with the Mini 1 controller, I did think it was a bit more fiddly to use. But like I say, Ocusync 2.0 not only gives you this new style remote controller, obviously it does give you a huge advantage when it comes to out-the-box range. Now, I'm not just saying this as a sales pitch. At the end of the day, I've tested it. So apart from one little anomaly where I tested them in a very, very urban environment, and basically the results were really inconclusive anyway, in the 3 major range tests that I have done with the Ocusync versus the Mini 1, I mean, at the end of the day, Ocusync each time doubled the range straight out of the box with no help. Full disclosure, this can, you can buy range extenders for the Mini 1, but of course that's an additional purchase, and of course, you know, you're sort of having to modify something, whereas Ocusync 2.0 does work perfectly right out the box. On to the next point. One of the main new features on the DJI Mini 2 is the fact it comes with a 4K camera. They're that proud of the fact, seemingly they've wrote it actually on the camera itself, if that's going to focus, not entirely too sure. But anyway, obviously it's really, really good to have 4K finally on this series. But will you actually see a difference? So I have done a back-to-back video. You will be able to see that video. There's a card above my head now. And basically, you can see for yourself whether you think there is much difference between the 2.7K on the Mini 1 and the 4K on the Mini 2. But what DJI have done, can't get my words out, they have ramped up the bitrate to 100 megabits per second rather than 40. Now, the benefit of that is you're going to get quite a lot smoother footage. So even if you're not recording pretty much in 4K, you're still going to take advantage of that, so your footage is actually going to look that little bit smoother, which is obviously a bonus. Just full disclosure, by the way, is obviously I did do that that footage video where you can compare the two. It is worth noting that even though this is 4K, the Mini 1 is still an absolutely cracking piece of kit and still delivers absolutely outstanding footage. And just for full disclosure, you're only really going to see the difference in the 4K or appreciate it if you are running the footage in a medium that can support it, such as YouTube, for example. You know, if you're just a general person that's just going to snap some video and stick it on Facebook or Instagram, you're not going to get that full 4K footage. So it is best off being viewed on YouTube. More importantly, you're going to need a big TV, you know, before you're actually going to start noticing the difference. But obviously, because it does have the 4K at the 100 megabits per second, you know, at the end of the day, if you do want to use this drone for professional sort of videos and bits and pieces, it is capable of doing it. Another cool feature of the camera on the Mini 2 is basically the ability to zoom in. So on 4K, you're only able to zoom in twice, but on other video modes, you can zoom in a little bit more. As you can see in the footage example that I'm giving you right now, obviously it's a really, really cool feature, and just allows you to lock in on that subject. Normally, with a zoom condition, you would expect it to be, you know, because obviously it is a digital zoom, you would expect it to be, you know, a little bit more grainy, but I think it stands up well. That's a really, really good plus for the Mini 2. So a big Achilles heel of the original MAVIC Mini 1, okay, is its wind resistance issues. So because the drone was physically so light, obviously, as you can imagine, in stronger winds, it did get blown about a bit. Now this thing, obviously, its max speed was 29 miles per hour. All right, and I never really used to fly it in winds anything above really, say, 10, 12 miles per hour. Just general good advice, I would imagine, you know, to just keep, you know, just around half its full speed, or less than half its full speed, just to make sure if you do encounter any winds, you know, you're going to be able to get back. Don't forget as well, wind at ground level is much less than wind, you know, when you're up there at sort of 80, 90 or 100 meters, so take that into account. However, with the Mini 2, the wind resistance has been increased from level 4 on the 1 to level 5 on the Mini 2. Now, a couple of ways DJI have actually done this. So firstly, first thing to notice is the props. Obviously, I've not got them out yet, but the props do seem to be a lot more sturdy. Okay, paired with some basically ramped up battery power on the Mini 2, this drone can actually handle winds and it can actually reach a top speed of around 34-35 miles per hour. So as you can imagine, that's so much more capable in handling winds. And again, I'm not just saying this as a sales pitch. I've tested it, you know. So again, as usual, there will be a card popping up above my head right about now where you can go and check out that wind resistance test. Don't get me wrong, both of these were being flown in winds that were very, very strong. The Mini 2 did seem to keep on its perch a little bit better than what the Mini 1 did, and I just felt at one point the Mini 1 decided to basically fly backwards while I was full throttle forwards. That was quite a scary experience, whereas the Mini 2 had no such problems and it did cope with the wind. Also, again, done some flights, and again, I was about 50-60 metres up. I was getting constant wind warnings coming through on the app on the Mini 1, whereas on the Mini 2, I think I got one, and it was being flown at the same location, the same flight, just minutes apart. And yeah, this does cope with the wind quite a lot better. So tying into what we've just been talking about then, DJI on the Mini 2 have switched to LiPo batteries rather than the lithium ion. These do actually give you a bit more power, and they're a little bit lighter in order to obviously keep this under the weight limit. Battery tests are not something that are really my thing or I'm really interested in. I have a good friend, Henrik Olsen of Tech Drone Media. So he has a fantastic YouTube channel where he does lots of tips, tutorials and reviews on these drones, such as the Mini 2 as well. So he has done a battery test video of a real world flight time of this drone, and what he's even done as well, which is quite helpful for all you guys that do have the Mini 1 that are thinking of upgrading. He has actually put the DJI Mini 1 batteries in the back of the Mini 2. Yes, they are compatible, just to see how long the drone lasts on those batteries as well. Just a little pointer is, if you do put the MAVIC Mini 1 batteries in the Mini 2, the batteries are physically heavier, so that will push you over that 249 gram. So just make sure that complies with your local laws or any certifications you may need to do. So on the Mini 2, you also have some really cool photo quick shots as well. So you have basically got wide angle, you have got sphere and 180. So you can see how we select them on the screen now. So again, a really, really cool piece of kit. That sphere function just looks absolutely awesome. So don't forget to give that a try for yourself. So the Mini 2 also comes with some built-in quick shots. Now, quick shots are a really, really easy to use automated flight mode that you can select a target, as I'm doing on screen right now in one of my videos, which I show you these options. And basically the drone will lock onto that target and it will perform a set maneuver. Now, on the Mini 1, you have all the ones that are listed below. However, on the Mini 2, you actually now have the option of boomerang, which is a nice, cool little feature. So yeah, those are really, really handy as well. So take some of the manual flying, or if you've got an object such as a car or a famous landmark or something like that, and you want to get some silky smooth footage, let the drone do the work, you just sit back and watch. And of course, on the Mini 2 now, before where quick shots could only be done in 1080p, you can now do them in 4K, which is a huge, huge bonus. Another feature I really, really like hidden within the menu settings, okay, is you have got the option to have a lot more gimbal and camera controls. So for example, on the Mini 1, where you only had the ability to adjust the pitch, speed and smoothness of the gimbal totally, now what you can do on the Mini 2 and the new updated app is you can actually select and basically adjust gimbal speed, smoothness and your speed for each of the flight modes, which is obviously, you know, cine, and then you've got normal and sport. Obviously, due to the general jerky nature of sport, not the greatest idea to do a lot of cinematic filming in sport mode, but with these settings, you are going to be able to do a hell of a lot more, because you're going to be able to slow those movements down, which is greatly going to help, especially if you want to be in sport mode because you're battling in the wind. I can only see that as a huge bonus. So this next point is actually something that's actually starting to win me round. Obviously is this sort of nice case here. Now this is actually growing on me, because initially I didn't actually like this case. I preferred the old one. But what I'm starting to find as well is, because of the nature of it, there is absolutely loads of room in that case. So if you do have any additional accessories, or even if you're out hiking or walking or anything like that, you can actually just, rather than having to carry your phone in your pocket, you can slip your phone in there as well. Where the Mini 1 case, everything fit in, it was nice and neat and tight, but that was about all you could really fit in it, other than maybe a pair of single Yagi range extenders. Whereas, like I say, this is a much bigger case, and you can actually just fit so much more in it. And obviously it does feel sort of weatherproof and quite wear-proof as well. That's a really nice case. So yeah, that's a big bonus for the new one. But straight up, it has taken me a little bit of time to warm to this case. I did initially like the Mini 1. So on the Mini 1, basically, the case is a lovely case. However, there was a bit of an issue with, you know, the MAVIC Mini 1 being stored in that case, and some issues with the motor overspeed error, which was due to incorrect storage on the props. Okay, so I tended to buy something like this, which is a little sort of prop protector, which sort of just kept them nice and neat. However, a huge bonus on the Mini 2 is this piece of kit here. So the Mini 2 has actually got a built-in protector, which is really nice and neat, guys. I think it's an absolutely great addition, and you know, nicely labeled DJI there, and it just allows you to just store this in a much more easy way. And not to mention as well, which I think is a really cool idea, is if you haven't bought the Fly More combo, then obviously this is going to just protect you that little bit more against any prop damage if you are just slipping it in your pocket or anything like that. The only thing I will find is I have found it is a little bit fiddly to get them back on, okay, you know, as soon as you take it off. But ultimately, that's a great piece of kit that comes with it, and again, a huge bonus for the Mini 2. So that's the end of our 10 points. Hopefully you found them really useful. So I will be doing a full-on straight comparison between the Mini 2 and the Mini 1 on my channel. That'll be one of my upcoming videos. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification to make sure you don't miss out on that. So as I've already mentioned, most of the topics that I've covered in this video, I've actually done videos on this channel previously, so don't forget to go check them out. So I have done wind tests on the Mini 2, I've done range tests on the Mini 2, and I've done footage comparisons on the Mini 2. So I think all of those put together, including this video, will basically provide you with all the information you possibly need to decide whether the Mini 2 is the right drone for you. And like I've already discovered, my friend Henrik of Tech Drone Media, he has done a battery comparison test, so you can go check and visit his channel and see his results there. If you are impressed by what you've seen and you do want to buy one, there are some links in the description below, just about there. If you just give them a click before you look to buy one, there's some links for DJI and Amazon. There seem to be really good deals at the moment. Give them a visit and I'm sure you'll be perfectly happy with your drone. If you have liked this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. It's really appreciated. What do you think of the Mini 2? Have you already got one or thinking of buying one? What do you think to the footage and sort of features in this video? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out my other videos. You will find them useful, and see you again soon.